Alrighty, Steeler Nation. Look, guys, I'm not going to hide from it. In the past, and I still believe it actually, I still believe this. As funny as it sounds, I still do believe this. In the past, I have said on this channel, on my channel, Steelers Nation Australia, and other platforms I work for, I have said this. I have said Coach Tomlin is a winner and you need to deal with it. However, over the last, few games, even I put my hand up and say, I guess I could be a Tomlin apologist if you want to call me that. I don't know. But I do think the guy's a winner. He's won Super Bowls. He's 1-1. He's won back in the day, with the Buccaneers when he was a defensive assistant. He's a winner, right? He's done things. I get that. And yes, it may be in the past, but I have said that, and I will not run away from that. I have said that a million times. Coach Tomlin is a winner, and you need to deal with it. However, in today's video, guys, welcome to Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. I want to walk through the schedule, because there were some comments made by Coach Tomlin, in my opinion, that were quite alarming from a fan's perspective, thinking, and I still do think he is a winner. And this is going to be a true test for the Steelers season, now being 1-2 after 3 awful games, and we should be 0-3. This is a true test for Tomlin. And I've said this a million times. Mike Tomlin is a winner because he has a winning record, right? I've said it a million times. The guy is head coach. He's 154, 85 losses, and 2 ties. His playoff record is 8-9, right? And he's won a Super Bowl and he's lost one. Okay. Now, there are some thoughts out there saying, well, was it, the Matt Canada offense last year, or it was a Big Ben that won all those seasons? Did Big Ben carry us the whole way, not Mike Tomlin, right? Just because the team has lost twice in a row, I'm not going to jump ship on my thought how I think Tomlin is a winner. However, he does need a bit of pressure to try and change something in this organization. I think we have a good defense. I think we have a good running game with our O-line. I think our quarterback is poor, and I think our O-line can be pretty good. I think our receivers, they can outmatch the defense in their abilities. I like Pickens. I like DJ. I like Claypool. At the moment, my 2 big problems for this idea of the Steelers is I'm not a real fan of the quarterback play, Trubisky, and I'm not a fan of the offensive coordinator. But of course, at the end of the day, when things aren't going bad, the fired Tomlin crew does come out for Mike Tomlin. And I understand that, because when he was winning, I would say what I would say to counteract that. Mike Tomlin is a winner and you need to deal with it. I understand those 2 notions. There's either side. But right now, for me, I just want to see the Steelers get better. I have hope that they can, but I want to do a little exercise. And I also found this quote too. Mike Tomlin was talking the other day on the post-game press conference when he was talking about, will there be a chance of Kenny Pickett starting? And I had this idea for this video. So Mike Tomlin was on the post-game press conference, and he said, in questioning of the possible QB change, he said, I'm not in that mindset. I'm interested in reviewing this tape, looking at totality of it, and figuring it out. We collectively need to get better, or collectively get better. So the answer to that question is a definitive no. So he was asked about changing Kenny Pickett right then and there, and he said a definitive no. So I wanted to bring something up, because I still believe he's a winner and he still can get better. I'm not saying the season's over. However, it does look quite daunting with the quarterback play we've had with Trubisky and the play calling we've had with Matt Canada. If Trubisky starts all year, what would the record look like? So I want to give you guys my opinion. You guys can play along. In the comments below, feel free to go along with me, right? Of course, we had Cincinnati Bengals, right? I'm going to go through the record right now, because Mike Tomlin believes that Trubisky is the guy. I don't believe he is the guy. I think he's a poor quarterback. But let's do an exercise where Trubisky starts all these games, and let's see if Mike Tomlin or the Steelers will have a winning record, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a losing record, right? And I will tailor these down as I go along. So we had Cincinnati Bengals, of course. They were, we escaped that game 23-20, right? So that's 1-0. Then we lost to the Patriots 17-14. That's 1-1. Then we lost to the Browns, which really hurt because we're leading at halftime to be, 14-13. And then we got whitewashed in the second half. So that's 1 and 2. Now we come to the exercise. The New York Jets. Will the Steelers beat the New York Jets led by Joe Flacco? I'm going to give you my honest opinion. And my honest opinion with this offense and Trubisky, if they don't change him to pass the football down the field and target his wide receivers that are wide open, then I'm going to say no. I'm going to give him a loss, right? A loss, okay? So we're going to go 1 and 3. Now, here is where this gets fun, or actually quite, depressing as a Steeler fan. If we have the exact same offense that is pretty much 32nd or 30th in the league in points scoring, yards, you name it, we can't keep the time on the field. Do you think we're going to beat the Buffalo Bills? Because to me right now, if they stay with Trubisky and they stay with this Matt Canada offense or system, it's going to be one big fat no. So that to me is 1 and 4. Then the Buccaneers come home. They come home. Tom Brady versus Mitchell Trubisky. Tom Brady will light us up because Trubisky can't score points. That is 1 and 5. Then they also go to, after that, this is going to be one of the toughest stretches in all of this year. Buffalo Bills, Buccaneers, Miami Dolphins, right? Then they go to Miami Dolphins. Are they going to go and beat Tua at home? Tua beat the Ravens, came back to beat the Ravens with 6 touchdowns. I'm going to say a loss again. So that is 1 and 6. I'm pretty sure it's 1 and 6. Okay, if it's not, we'll readjust near the end. Then they're going to go versus Jalen Hurts at Philadelphia. That to me is 1 and 7. So if I count these, that should be 8 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In a span of things, this team could go from maybe potential playoff contenders at the start of the year, or 8 and 8, to a whopping 1 and 7. Very likely can happen. Then they have the bye. Now, here's where it gets interesting as well. So say, for instance, if Trubisky's still playing, I'm not taking into account that Kenny's playing, because to Mike Tomlin's answer, it's a definitive no. So we're going through the season with Trubisky the whole time. And about this time, we might get back TJ Watt. So let's say we have TJ Watt back. I believe they can beat the Saints. So I'm going to go 2 and 7. Cincinnati Bengals come back to home. I think TJ plays again. I think we can beat them. Let's go 3 and 7. Okay, if you guys are playing along at home, put in the comments below who you think will win. Now, if we're 3 and 7, we're getting into, the last 7 games or so. The Steelers go to the Indianapolis Colts, right? Can we go to the Colts and beat them? At this very point in time, the Colts are playing awful as well. Matt Ryan can't do anything over that way. So I'm actually going to say we get a win that we get a win there. That's 4 and 7. Okay. Versus the Atlanta Falcons now, another road victory. I think the Steelers have a chance to beat them. Let's give them 5 and 7. Okay. So for this exercise so far, I have them 5 and 7. Now we have the last stretch, the playoff push per se. We have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Steelers. Now this one, with Trubisky right now in the scoring offense, I don't believe they can beat the Ravens. I actually think the way they're playing, there is no way they beat the Ravens once or twice. So they're 5 and 8. Then they go on the road to Carolina. The way Carolina is playing at the moment, I believe they can beat them. That's 6 and 8. So we are getting to the stage of a non-losing season, but possibly it could be his first losing season. Las Vegas Raiders at home. This is going to be a crazy game. A lot of emotion filled. The immaculate reception, right? Las Vegas. I'm actually going to give this one. I'm going to give this one to the Raiders, right? If Trubisky's still playing the same, it could be Kenny Pickett, but for the exercise, it's still Trubisky. I'm going to give them 6 and 9 at the moment. Then the last 2 games, and this very well could be Mike Tomlin's first losing season, and playing at his very first losing season. So they're going to lose this game too. So they're going to lose this game to the Baltimore Ravens, which brings them to 6 and 10. In the last game, if they're 6 and 10, I also think the Cleveland Browns can lose this game. The Steelers can lose this game as well. That brings them to 6 and 11. So there you have it, guys. This could very well be Mike Tomlin's first losing season, right? If you go through the schedule like that, of course, it's quite easy. It's really easy to do. You go from 1 to 17, but I had them having a stretch of like 5 losses. Before the bye, I have them 1 and 7 before the bye. If they lose this Jets game and they don't figure things out in the next, 10 days or a few weeks, there is a big chance, a massive chance they're versing the Buffalo Bills, the Bucks, the Philadelphia Eagles, and who else was in there? I can't remember who else was in there. Philadelphia Eagles and Miami Dolphins. If they don't beat those teams, they could very well likely before the bye be 1-7, right? Now, like I said, I'm a Coach Tomlin guy. I believe in Coach Tomlin. I believe what he can do for what he's done for this franchise. I believe he can get better. But right now, there is an element of doubt, even over my head, thinking this team led by Trubisky and led by this Matt Canada offense is not working. It's not working. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Coach Tomlin has a lot of work to do. This very well may be his first losing season in the NFL.